I shouldn't be surprised when the necktie backs up electrochemistry at this point, should I? And yet, I am. Hey YouTube, jumping back into some disco, and I just, after the fashion show, put all the clothes that I want to wear back on. And just before recording, I was having a sort of crisis about what I do in this game while I'm waiting for Kim to come back. Like, what do I do without Kim? And then I realized, to the game's credit, they already thought of that. Like, it's actually quite amazing that something as momentous, something as important as half of your party leaving is a timing that's left up to the player. Like, if I were to play again and I wanted to, I'm pretty sure that I could get that body down from the tree by noon on Monday and send Kim off that day. Right? I could focus on nothing else. If I had really high motorics, really high savoir-faire, I could get to Everart, get that done, or I could shoot it down from the tree and get lucky, or there's probably several other ways to focus on that and not do much else in the game. And send Kim away, and then most everything else that I've done in this playthrough we could do without Kim there. And the game would just have to work. I mean, I'm sure there are some things that might be gated behind Kim's presence, in which case the game would just give you a task. Hey, I'm back with Kim. But the game is so well designed, I don't have to wait for Kim. In fact, I kind of want to put it through its paces by going and doing things without Kim, even some things like going and talking to the smoker on the balcony, things that I should definitely wait to have Kim with me for. I'm going to do it without him and then see what it's like reporting back to Kim, telling him all the stuff that happened while he was gone. So, long story short, I'm just going to do what I want to do, what's available for me to do, without waiting to see if, without concerning myself with Kim's presence or non-presence. Anyway, I'm gonna get this thingy out of my hand because I don't need it. Let's see, it is 3 p.m. on Wednesday. I think what I'm gonna do, I kind of want to explore the rest of the west side. But on the way there, I'm going to stop by the bookstore and buy another book, just in case I do have to pass some time. Zoom out a little bit, so I can run there more efficiently. Okay, maybe we'll buy, you know what, I've kind of invested in physical instrument. And I have that Man from Yandal shirt. Let's get one of those books.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere.
Hyamdal. It's basically this world's version of Conan. Yeah, let's buy the Shamdalarman book.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
I forgot about this dialogue choice. Storekeep. Tell me about the Muscle Man books. Oh boy. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, I also think I have a bunch of skill points I could spend. And several things to interact with. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I bought the book. So let's interact with some stuff, and then I'll spend some skill points, probably activate a new thought, and then we'll getting on with things. Let's see. A classic. Good choice then. On the frontispiece, an anatomically unrealistic muscle man is reaching into a mountain stream, yearning to touch his glimmering mirror image. His eyes are full of childlike wonder. On the blood-soaked snow right next to him lie two giant Zweihandas. So he has two-handed swords. Because he's ripped. Yeah, and then there's the apricot gum wrapper that we found in one of the pairs of pants. A gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pocket of the laborer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint scent of apricots. Your mouth starts watering. Let's interact with this. I feel like this is as dangerous as interacting with the clipboard, but I'll have to remember, I didn't actually die, did I?
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet, or some ancient temple.
I like to think of the surface of other planets smelling like cinnamon and apricots. End of summer?
The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich.
Again with the writing. I could never hope to write this well.
There is a movement next to you. The shuffle of a small coat, warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, there's nothing there.
Where did it go?
Why are you talking to a gum wrapper?
I've talked to weirder things. Ancient
Yes,
temple?
from the height of antiquity. A long, long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of time you can never return to.
Well, let's take a deep breath, shall we?
Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take.
Now that song's gonna be in my head all day.
Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes. Made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive.
Made of toffee, cream, and distance.
Your heart working overtime, trying to keep up with the panicked synapses firing all over your brain, moving liters of blood through you, panicking. Feels so familiar.
Yep, just like a note that we found in our ledger. Okay, and I think this means I have 3 skill points to spend. It's kind of ridiculous. So let's unlock a thought. Yep, that is what that means. Man, we actually have quite a bit of thoughts that we could, You have found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The Gloom Stalker, the conglomeration. The shadowy organization behind your downfall. Possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it is impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes. Use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper. Reconstruct the day you first breathed in your untrustworthy items. I think I'm gonna do the Fairweather T500 just in case. Like, I'm assuming sometime on Friday is kind of the soft time limit for when things are going to kick off if I don't solve the case. Just based off of what Joyce said. And it being my first playthrough, the chances that I will fuck that up are pretty high. So let's be prepared for it. And try to internalize this. So my savoir faire sucks right now anyway, so. Now I have 2 goddamn skill points. What to do with that? Suggestion is such a good skill. I really like that. Suggestion's a 7, so yeah, 2s always fail, right? As far as the dice roll, 2s always fail, so anything that's 10 or less, I will definitely succeed at. I like shivers a lot too. What's this one? Right. I got slightly confused about the difference between physical instrument and half-light, because they're similar in some ways. Pain threshold is tempting. I've already put 2 points into shivers. We can probably get bonuses from dots too that I just don't know about. Yeah, we've sort of been leaning into physique and psyche, so. Let's see, I spent 1, 2. I was putting so much into authority because I thought that's what I would have to do in order to talk Thomas Hardy down. I think his first name is Thomas Hardy down, but now I don't have to worry about that because we did shit for Everart, and that's taken care of itself. Yeah, so I put almost as much points into it. I put an even amount into Psyche. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I didn't. Yeah, an even amount into Psyche and Motorics. Even though Motorics is not one of my major areas I intended on focusing on. So yeah, I think the next one should go into Psyche somewhere. Yeah, Pain Threshold. Let's do that. Let's be less of a namby-pamby. Okay. That's enough busy work. Oh, and hopefully the echo and recording should stop. I figured out it's coming from it's feedback from earphones into the mic. All I gotta do is turn the volume down. Okay, so now I'm gonna make my way back over to the west side. Using my special detective sense. As I do so, Yeah, even this time, even when I know that the car is over there, it's still really easy to miss it. Incredible. I know from watching back in the footage, yeah, I sort of walked past all this stuff. So, oh, okay, I need to be up there first. Okay, so we'll go and we'll talk to whoever this is.
Hi, officer.
Oh, this is Lily's mom. Cool. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip. Unexpected.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we
A
exactly?
fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Well, she's got a pleasant Irish accent. Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
I've got questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
The third one. Actually, for being pedantic. 1, 2, 3. Haha.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Why, thank you, suggestion. I was interested in the cool sword. Nice sword. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
I like her already. Hold on, dude. I like the kid, so I want to be nice to the mom. It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
That's the truth. That's an asshole question. Can I borrow that sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check would put me in an early grave.
She refuses, but your word is the law. You are law.
Calm down, authority. Not the fucking dictator Martinez. So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed.
Yes, I enjoyed the way he bled.
It's hard to say if it's a joke.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Thanks, sympathy. Where is your husband now?
Gone.
As a matter of fact.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershore. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
I'm gonna choose number 3 because of how I dealt with the working woman over by the bookstore. Disappeared? Sounds like a missing persons case.
No, there's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later.
It's pretty ghastly.
Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Believe you me, sometimes even 20 years can go by, and there are still pieces that are difficult.
She really likes those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Electrochemistry. Is that your way of telling me that I'm getting a sympathetic hard-on? I mean, after this game almost had me shove my thumb up my ass, I wouldn't put it past these writers. Let's see. Man, I have an idea to do a playthrough of being a real asshole, and number 2 would go along with that. Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death. Good lord. It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
Mm-hmm. She glances at the village, where 2 little kids are playing with what look like rocks. Ah yes, the idiot twins.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her.
Oh, she's actually bored, talking about her dead husband.
She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
I said the first hard-on was on her behalf, and now this one's for me. Cool.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
I shouldn't be surprised when the necktie backs up electrochemistry at this point, should I? And yet, I am. Oh good, there's a white check for that. I love how, like, this skill is telling me, like, hey, you might want to have a place to take her on a date that she wants to go to. It's... If I do that, it's not going to be right now. I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help?
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
I'm going to take Lena's line on this one. People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Where did they go?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
A working class husband.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
See, electrochemistry. Not a good idea. The husband is not for me. I'm looking for him for his wife.
Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
Yeah, it's not a very good description, is it?
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you.
Despite me not giving her much to work with. No, that's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now. Although, I think that this implies that I could be. This game holds so many secrets.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I have the opportunity to come back and ask again. What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
I have definitely met people for whom that would be, like, actually good advice for them. Interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
This is going to be electrochemistry again, isn't it?
Mines. Mines. You need mines.
Surprisingly, no. It's physical instruments. But I have the dialogue option. A mine? The RCM could use a mine. Where is it?
Well, the RCM has to wait for another one, because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing.
Oh, I didn't only ask for one of those things. Physical instrument led me astray. So I take it that's your skiff? Point at the overturned boat.
Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Okay, I'll do this for you guys. Alright.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Yeast cultivation-based mating rituals. Number fucking 3! And I've, walked into having to choose one of these things. Let's go with this one. It's the least creepy. I like you, but I'm afraid to be around you because you're a woman.
Okay. Where's this going?
It's a reasonable question. I need to be drunk. You do too. Please get drunk with me on a drunk date. It's my only option. Please get drunk with me on a drunk date.
Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer. Anyway, what did you want?
Surprised that this conversation is continuing.
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
That is the best possible outcome of that failure. By far. Why would I tell her that? Oh, it's interesting, so I'll say it, I guess. That's my motor carriage in the sea, by the way.
Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea?
Sorry, cop. It was an accident. I'm sorry.
This calls for a funeral, if you ask me.
You are suggesting we honor the carcass of my former motor carriage?
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all?
This is exactly what was in my head. What an odd thought. Maybe I should.
Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
And if I had a funeral for every can of Diet Coke that I finished, I would have time for nothing but drinking Diet Coke and Diet Coke funerals. So I'm glad we don't do that. Alright, I'm in, you crazy son of a bitch. But organizing a funeral takes a lot of time and effort, doesn't it?
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake?
Hey, I've got a cassette and a boombox.
Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
It's such a this is like a such strangely like fourth wall breaking thing to say, so I'm gonna go with it. It's a pity we don't get to do more frivolous side activities, like rejuvenate the doomed commercial area.
I understand, believe me, I really do. I think about all the frivolous side activities I could be doing every time I go out there with my nets.
But she doesn't have time for those.
But daydreaming is a rich man's game. At sea, you can't afford to be careless and dream. Anyway, what are we talking about here again?
Nothing. You see, you.